Following Jake Paul's cancellation of his bout with Mike Tyson, boxing experts and professionals have taken to criticizing Jake Paul for his dishonesty. It's not incorrect to say that it's pouring criticism, and Jake is caught without an umbrella. At first, Jake was all tough talk and prepared to take down Tyson, but after seeing a glimpse of Tyson's most recent training video, Jake abruptly called off the fight. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the real reason might be the cold feet he got after seeing Tyson in action. Check out what others are saying, and while you're at it, remember to hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. First, let's hear Eddie Hearn's thoughts on the whole controversy surrounding the cancellation.
Everyone's entitled to have a dream. No, seriously, I'm being serious. I think there's absolutely no way he can beat a world champion and become world champion.
Picture this scenario. Jake Paul is being completely ridiculed there, and he is unable to even make an attempt to defend himself because he is standing next to Eddie Hearn, who is almost boxing royalty in the United Kingdom. When Eddie talks, everybody pays attention, even Jake Paul. Eddie is the driving force behind the promotion of big names like Anthony Joshua and Amir Khan, and he is renowned for making British boxing a spectacular spectacle. Eddie brought up the fact that inexperienced boxers frequently have lofty goals and a burning need for instant gratification. They frequently pull off pranks such as those Jake did, but when things get serious, they give up, proving they aren't ready to defeat a legitimate world champion. Eddie added,
I know how good he is because he hasn't really faced a real fighter yet. It's not his fault. He signed to fight Tommy Fury.
A five-time world champion and Tyron Woodley's a real fighter.
Mate, he's not a real boxer.
Let's quickly review Jake's boxing resume. In 2018, he competed in an amateur match against fellow YouTuber Dae Olatunji, winning by technical knockout. This fight served only as a warm-up for his brother Logan's main event. Since then, Jake has faced opponents who aren't exactly the best in the business, including former NBA player Nate Robinson and retired MMA fighter and Olympic wrestler Ben Askren. Jake once entered the ring with a man who was closer to real boxer Tommy Fury. He lost, which indicates a pattern. Consequently, when Jake believed he could take on Mike Tyson and possibly gain some instant notoriety, he discovered the hard way that competing against a legend like Tyson is a completely different ballgame. With his keen sense of what makes a true fighter, Eddie Hearn was able to see right through the facade and see all of the external and internal motivations at work. And let's not forget about Lennox Lewis. How could he remain out of this? Buzz. Regarding the Tyson vs. Jake Paul match, Lennox, a retired professional boxer, is frequently hailed as one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. He retired from the game in 2004 with a record of 41 wins, 32 by knockout, 2 losses, and 1 draw. Notably, he is one of only 3 world heavyweight champions to retire undefeated in title bouts, joining the ranks of Rocky Marciano and Gian Toni.
I think it's going to be a good fight. I mean, you know, Mike Tyson, what he does is two-dimensional. He's going to come at you, trying to knock you out. Now, you got to try and stay away from him, stay away from his power. I seen him working out the other day, and he throws some good combinations. So those 6-punch combinations.
Lennox was referring to the training video that Mike Tyson had shared. Yes, it was the same video that had presumably scared Jake Paul into calling off the fight, but it appeared that Jake had to put protecting his own skin above all else. The video demonstrated Mike's unwavering strength and skill, demonstrating that the iron in his nickname isn't just for show. What does Joe Rogan think about this cancellation?
Tyson people talk shit. There's certain people that are just crazy. Don't think people know. You don't lose that much ability, you know? You have to understand who you're talking about.
Joe appeared to be quite irritated with Jake Paul's carefree or naive demeanor. If you've been following the Jake vs. Mike story, you're aware of how Jake has overreached himself, mocking even Mike's late daughter in his taunts. He's even made a lot of fun videos, suggesting that causing trouble is his specialty. Jake even boasted about giving Mike the death stare in the ring, as well as about his so-called iron shin. All of this nonsense came to a standstill when Jake realized he had more than he could handle. Mike Tyson is more than just an NBA star or a former mixed martial arts fighter. Just observe the intensity with which he looks at Jake.
Please promise me you're going to kick this guy's ass and shut him up, please.
Hey, I will do just that for you.
Mike doesn't see entering the ring as a huge thing because he has defeated undefeated fighters, heavyweight champions, and actual boxers for fun.
I don't think he's faster than me.
How hard are you training?
I train every day.
Hey,
I take it serious. Listen, the process goes through the whole day. I get up in the morning, do the road work, then I go to the gym at 1, then I go to the strength and conditioning guy, then it starts all over again.
Even though Mike could have easily defeated Jake with little effort, he is still working hard and treating this fight seriously compared to any other recent fight, including his exhibition against Roy Jones Jr., which was more enjoyable for him. It appears that Jake really pressed the wrong button this time. It's amazing to note that Sean Porter was the only one to predict that this fight wouldn't even happen, and he was 100% correct. As everyone knows, Sean isn't afraid to speak the truth, so when it came to this highly anticipated Mike versus Jake showdown, here is what he had to say.
I don't think it's happening. I broke it down to you now. I'll break it down to you too.
Sean wasn't accusing Jake of taking a financial hit. Rather, he was pointing out that Jake appeared mentally checked out, almost as if he knew he was there just to get knocked out. Sean questioned how sincere Jake was about wanting to take on such a serious challenge, given that Jake had recently lost to Tommy Fury and had then swiftly called out Mike Tyson, talking about moving quickly.
If the fight happens, this is what I'll say. Mike gives us 3 great rounds and the fight ends.
Image Jake is not the only one who is able to go into the 4th round unbeaten. Despite their doubts, Jake could still feel the scrutinizing gaze of many other boxing professionals who appeared to share the same thoughts. Jake stood out with a lot of talk.
I think people are underestimating me being able to deal with his power, and that is something that is going to make it interesting.
Jake appeared to be a self-confident superhero who was prepared to face Mike head-to-head in the ring. But when the chips were down and Mike accepted his challenge, Jake abruptly withdrew. Talk about a plot twist. Jake quickly transitioned from being a superhero to a stage exit, but did you know that not only boxing experts believe Jake? By calling out Mike Tyson, Paul bit off more than he could chew. Yes, even people from all walks of life who follow the boxing world believe that Jake made a mistake. Let's hear what JCI Onel Taylor, popularly known as The Game, had to say about it.
Mike Tyson's 57.
No, I don't give a how old Mike Tyson is. Have you seen Mike Tyson's punch?
He went on to truly break it down from there.
You disarm yourself when you say that. If you said it to yourself in the mirror and you were like, yo, I'm about to fight Mike Tyson, you instantly become a skinny, starving kid, just mentality-wise, right? And then you train and you get ready, but who are you getting ready to fight against?
Mike.
Therefore, it is absurd to believe that you can enter the ring with Mike Tyson and walk out without suffering a souvenir like a broken jaw or a dislocated ribcage. Jake came dangerously close to displaying this foolishness before he pulled out, and even Mike Tyson's former coach, Ronnie Shields, voiced his opinion.
As a fighter, Jake Paul wants to be a fighter. So what you gonna do? You know, I think it's good though, because you know Mike is always training. You always see videos of him online working out. So why not?
Being a fighter and wanting to be one are very different, as Ronnie made apparent when he said that up-and-coming boxers frequently try to get a shot at big-name fighters in the hopes of becoming famous. Jake was in the spotlight until he wasn't, but who gave him the most flack for that? Johnny Nelson became rather agitated.
I'm frustrated because today's youth will look at Mike and think, oh, who's that old guy fighting? And they'll not appreciate how devastating this man was in his day.
If you've enjoyed this ride, trust me, you'll love what's coming next. Johnny Nelson is just frustrated that people underestimate Mike because of his age, forgetting how fierce he was and still is. What do you think? Can Jake Paul even show his face in the ring after such a devastating wave of backlash? Let us know in the comments below.